Alright, let's take a look at how to assign this foot switch. I'm going to try to make this brief. I don't know how into it you guys want me to get. This is kind of my template patch, you know, like the one that you would make that has kind of all your settings, and then you would kind of cut and paste from there. I have it set up, you can see it says wah and tap. So this one here, you tap it nice and slow, you get a slow tap. You go fast, so it's obviously doing the tap. And then the expression is always set up as a volume pedal. But then when I tap here, I go into a wah pedal. And then tap again, I come out. So let me show you how to assign those two things. The wah one is a little complicated, tap one's easy, and then other stuff is easy. I'll show you how to do some generic stuff. So let's see, let me zoom in on this screen here. Sorry, you're not gonna be able to see. You should have like a split screen where you can see both hands, but okay. So to get let's look at the tap first. That's the easy one. It's always hard to get exactly on this screen. Got one of those like multi-jointed camera holders. It works great, but it's hard to get exactly where you want it, right when you want it. Okay. Is that good enough there? Okay, so let's go in. I'm pressing edit. And then we're going to scroll all the way over to, it's these control, let's see if I can make this a little brighter. There we go. All these control assignments. That's where most of this is going to be. So I'm going to press enter. And then the first few are assigning to the switches that are on the actual unit itself. So obviously you have 4 switches across the front of the unit. That's number 1 through 4. Memory manual is the one that you obviously press to go into memory and manual modes. Current number is like assigning a second function to, so like if we were on bank 1, patch 1, this would assign a second function to the number 1 switch because you're in preset 1 or patch 1. I typically assign a boost to that because I think like, okay, I'm on number 2, but I want more number 2, so I just push number 2 again. And that gives me a boost. There's expression assignments 1 and 2. So then you have control 1 and control 2. Those are that's the one jack on the back that has 1 on the tip and 1 on the ring. And then 3 and 4 are also back there, 1 on the tip and 1 on the ring. I'm going to look at those because that's what I have this 2-button foot switch assigned to. And we're going to look at tap first, which is assigned on number 4. On the switches, the top switch is 3, the bottom switch is 4. If you're using 1 and 2, then the top switch is 1, the bottom switch is 2. So we're going to enter into that. And now first it's asking you, what function do you want to use that switch for? You have all these options. If you first go in here, it would be set to off, obviously. So I scroll until I get to BPM tap. And then I don't know that this matters on a tap, if it's toggle or momentary. I mean, a tap tempo is a momentary thing. It's not like you're toggling it off and on. And then I don't think either of these are important. Maybe if you set them up different than what I have here, you get something else, but that's what I have. So I'm pushing exit to get out of here. Now let's have a look at number 3. But first, and this was the really hard part. This literally took me 4 hours to figure out. Go to where it says foot volume. Or no, expression. Okay, so normally when I plug in my expression as a foot volume, then this expression 1 is set to foot volume. And I just could not for the life of me get the wah function to work the way that I wanted to, even though it seemed like I was setting it up right. So what you have to do is you have to scroll around until you get to these other options. So you have foot volume, and then you have, I don't know what this is, wah and pitch bend maybe for 1 and 2, and then you have wah, and maybe that's still pitch bend, and maybe F is foot volume for 1 and 2. So we're on 1, and I'm just assuming that that's what this stands for, but I think what this means is on effects 1, which I have the wah assigned to, it's going to be the expression 1, which is my volume pedal, is going to be between a wah, I'm not using any pitch, but it's going to go wah to foot volume. So you have to set it up this way if you want that to have a dual function like I've got. So that's, man, I wish that was in the manual. So now we're going to go back over to where 3 is, and I have it set up to toggle FX1 on, because that's where I have my wah. So does that make sense? 3 was the top switch. 4 was the bottom switch. So if we get out of that, now you also have to go set up what the wah is. So go over to, remember we had it on FX1. We're going to enter into there, and then you have your wah of choice by scrolling this guy. I like the Crybaby. You have some options for dry level and effect level and all that stuff. I think I just left it all alone. And you see that it's off. Now I'm going to reach over and I'm going to toggle the top switch of that pedal. See, it goes on and then it goes off and then it goes on and off just by what I'm doing here is just pressing the switch. You see the red light going on. You can't see the screen anymore, but you can see the red light. So that turns off the volume function of this and creates a wah pedal from that assignment. And then when you toggle the wah back off and the light goes off, now you're back to a volume pedal again. This is the Boss EV30, by the way. It's the dual output expression pedal. I only have one output. I don't know. I'm not sure why you would want two. Maybe to control 2 pedals. Yeah, I guess you'd want it connected to 2 pedals. Anyway, that doesn't really help us with this situation. So let's see. Now I gotta get back into the. There we go. So that's how to set up what I have. Let's say that you wanted, instead of tap tempo, let's say that you wanted the bottom switch to be like a momentary for a dirt pedal. Actually, that's a pretty cool effect. It's kind of like a kill switch. So we're going to leave the effects one the way it is, and we're going to set up a big muff on effects 2. So press exit, and I get over to the second one, which is effects 2. We're going to leave it off for now because we're going to control it with a switch. I'm going to put it on muff fuzz. Actually, I'm going to turn it on just to hear what it sounds like. But turn it back off. That sounds fine to me. But I'm gonna turn down that reverb real quick. I just want very little reverb. It helps with this effect. So now we're going to go over to control, and remember 3 was the top one, that's controlling our wah. 4 is the bottom one. So we're going to enter into that. And then if you first got here and there was nothing assigned, again it would be off. So I want it to toggle FX2. So you're just going to go around. So you have all these options. Tons of options. Oh, by the way, if you wanted to make this like bank up and bank down, I bet a lot of you guys are going to do that. So obviously this would be the bottom switch. So you'd want to just put it to bank minus. Top switch you'd want to set to bank plus. I've never assigned it that way. I don't have a hard time pressing the 2 switches at the same time, but some people want the added ease of using a separate switch, which I totally get. I get it. Okay, where were we? FX2. And then set up as toggle, it would be like you push it and it's on, and then you push it again and it's off. We want it momentary. So we have it like that. And then off and on, that's just handy. If it's doing the opposite of what you want, you can reverse the polarity. That's all, but we're going to leave it right where it is. And now I'm going to exit out of that. Okay, so what this looks like, it's pretty cool sound actually. When you strum a chord, it's only doing it when you tap on it. You see the light coming on here. Wah. That's not easy to do, both of those at the same time. Anyway. I think that's about all I can show. I guess also, if this is too tall or too short, either one of them, you can get inside of this pedal and add a little height here or take some off here by loosening the nut. They're fully adjustable. I think that's about all I was gonna say about it. Anyway, if you have any questions, post them down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. Thanks.